Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Book a Lunch Day. Sorry I had a little technical difficulty earlier. Today we'll be making a street, kind of like a street food. It's a very simple street food in Asia. You can find it in Taiwan, you can find it in China, and you can also find it in Singapore and Malaysia. It's really popular. It's kind of like, you can even find it here, but the variation I'm making it today, it's shredded. The chicken will be shredded instead of in chunk. So there's different variation of it. But the concept is really easy. So the first thing you need is chicken. You can use either chicken breast or chicken thigh. It's completely up to you. Do get the one with chicken skin attached, because that's what we're going to use for the sauce. The sauce is the most important part of this dish. And then we have our chicken. I'm using chicken thigh today because that's what I have. And you also need to start a big boil of water. I got this recipe from one of my favorite celebrity chef in Taiwan, and he explained it. His style of cooking, a lot of the time he makes street food that we tend not to make at home, and teach a simpler way to make it at home, which is why I decided to make this dish today. It sounds really simple, but it's really good. So let's get started. The first thing was our big pot of water, and just add a little salt to it, probably about 2 tablespoons or so. And then personally I like ginger, so I'm also going to add in a little ginger to my boiled water, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Now, chicken is very easy. It's common. It's kind of everybody's go-to dish, but it's really easy to mess up chicken, because if you overcook it, it's going to be really dry, and that's not good. So what we are going to do with our chicken is we are going to put it in the boiled water, and then we're going to immediately turn down the fire. So we're not going to keep it in the boiled form. We're not boiling our chicken so it's so dry. Okay? And I like to put in like the biggest piece first to the smallest piece. Now we're going to turn it down. You don't want it to like kill the fire or anything. You want to keep it just a little boil. A tiny bit of boil, but not like a whole lot. Now we're going to work on our sauce. Our sauce is going to mainly use fat from chicken. So you want to put in, I want to turn the flame down so I'm not burning the chicken skin. I'm just reducing the fat from the chicken skin, so that's going to be really delicious. And if you don't like this part, if you feel like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable using chicken skin, you don't have to. You can always just use regular cooking oil, but you are missing out, because that's going to make your dish extra flavorful. Let me wash my hand really quickly, because I'll be cutting my veggies. Alright. Down. I'm just going to add in a little vegetable oil to help, you know, the fat joining its cousins. Alright, and now I'm going to mince out all the herbs that I have on the table. So just green onion, shallots, and garlic. Okay, garlic. So just mince everything, nothing special. Cut it to the smallest size that you can without chopping off your finger. The ingredient of this dish is super duper easy, but the flavor is just amazing. You want to keep an eye on your chicken skin, you don't want to burn it. And with the straw, it's the same thing. Just mince it to the smaller size. You can. And we use straw a lot in cooking. We tend to fry it to give it extra flavor. So that's kind of what we are doing today, but a little bit different. We want to cook it so it's nice and crispy. This one. Mom usually make my dad do this. Oh, this is the worst parts in cooking. Dealing with onion and stuff that makes you cry. Oh, okay. While I'm crying and cutting this thing, let's go over the spring reading program. Yes, it's spring, so the library does have plenty of spring reading program going on. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very sad. But yes, the library does have a bunch of spring reading program activities coming up in the month of April. So if you have not done that already, come by to your local branch and pick up the activity form so you can join us and have a chance to enter the drawing for the spring reading program prize. And I'm almost done torturing myself cutting this. And our thing is almost ready too. Let me take a look at the chicken. I'm gonna flip that. I'm still crying. This is horrible. This is embarrassing. My tear. My goodness. This is the worst part. It's because I didn't put it in the fridge last night when I bought it. Usually I tend to put it in the fridge so it doesn't burn my eye as bad. That's one way, but I was like, oh, it's fine. It shouldn't be as bad as my onions. I was fine cutting onions last time. Shouldn't be that hard. But these, the reason why you cry when you're cutting onion and these, it's because they have an enzyme inside of them. So really, really difficult. That's why if you put it in the fridge or freezer for a little bit, it's going to help because it will slow down the activity of the enzyme. It's not a gas. It's just enzymes that makes you tear up. And it's a very sad dish, I suppose. Alright, so I'm finally done cutting this. Finally. And then we're going to cut up some garlic as well. I think garlic doesn't make me cry. Okay. When our chicken is almost done, chicken cook really, really fast. But you do want to make sure your chicken is cooked completely through. That's one thing, because you don't want to get sick from your chicken. So you do want to make sure your chicken is cooked completely through. But chicken cooks really fast, so you don't need to worry about it, because it's a really hard line to find between a perfectly cooked chicken versus an overcooked chicken. Like sometimes you overcook it, it's gonna be dry. done peeling our garlic. And at this point, our chicken is pretty much completely reduced down to just chicken skin. While we're cutting these. Alright. Let's just finish up the garlic and we will be on our way to complete the dish. Just mince everything. It really doesn't have any skill involved. You just cut everything up to the finest. And we're done cutting, yay! Oh, my eye! And right now you don't want to touch your eye because you will burn. Alright. And then, let me just flip that over. Woo! So these are all the fats from the chicken. So you do want to just kind of keep an eye on it. You don't want to burn it. If you want, I don't know if you have tried it before, but chicken skin is, once you cook it, it's nice and crispy. It's actually really good. So if you feel like it, I'm not going to pressure anyone to do anything that they don't want to, but if you feel like it, you can definitely continue and make it nice and crispy and then eat it. Put it on top of the rice. But if you don't feel like it, you feel like, no, that's something that I don't want to try, no pressure. I'm not going to add it today, so no worry. And I'm going to turn off the flame because we're going to add in our herb. The thing about herb is that you cannot add it into really high temperature. It's going to burn, and that's not going to be good. So what we are going to do is we're going to let it cool down a little bit, just a little bit. We do want to add in our green onion. You know what? I'm going to add in my Charlotte. You made me cry. I'm going to add in this first. And again, you want to keep an eye on it. It's going to reduce. It's going to cook really fast. But we're kind of going to fry it, but not really. You do want to reduce the moisture out of this. That's going to smell really good. Alright, keep the flame really, really low. If it's too high, it's going to burn, and that's something that we don't want. Alright, and let's take a look at our chicken. It should be done already. And you don't want to overcook our chicken. You're kind of just cooking in a very slow, very, very medium flame. High heat is really, it's going to just dry it. That's not good. Do this. Come on, I can do it. And by the time that your salad is nice and crispy, nice and brown, then we can add in our other material. But you just kind of have to wait because it's going to take a while. And when we are cooking, we actually use this a lot, and it's going to smell really, really good. And grandmas, they often will buy a lot of shallot, and then they will make it into nice and crispy kind of flake. They'll fry it and they will put on top of dishes, and that smells amazing. So we just kind of have to wait it out. But it really takes time to make something like this good, and which is another reason why it's a street food, because a lot of times street food in Asia, it's like they only sell a few items, or they only sell a method of cooking. For example, frying or boil or like boiled chicken stock kind of. So to reduce, so it's really fast for them, and they just perfectionize that dish or that method of cooking. And it's amazing. So street food, a lot of people feel like I did meet someone that their rule of thumb is they never touch any street food because they don't know how clean it is. But it's so common in Asia that a lot of time the best dishes are street food. When I go back to Asia, I tend not to go to restaurants because I mean, like a lot of dish I can find it here or I can make it myself. But street food, it's something that sounds easy, but it's really difficult to make at home, or it's really difficult to make it good at home. We just kind of have to let it reduce in. Oh, it smells good. The flavors start to come out now. Just remember, you cannot use high heat. You have to just use very slow, very small flame to kind of reduce to caramelize it and reduce the liquid out of your herb. Right. So I can start seeing it browning a little bit, so I'm going to add in my green onion. Garlic always going last. It's really easy to burn garlic. If you have recipes, try to put in your garlic in separate pieces. So like add in the garlic once when the your recipe tells you to, and add it in again toward the end or just a while later. That's really going to help you to keep the flavor of garlic. Garlic is really easy to lose its flavor, so that's why a lot of time, you know, you don't want to cook it for too long. Turn it up a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. It's like it's a waiting game. You just have to keep an eye on it, stir it once in a while. But this is a perfect timing for us to work on our chicken, which should be done. Yes, it's that fast. Again, and the chicken that I pick, it's not super thick. It's kind of not, so it doesn't need to be it doesn't really need to be cooked, not cooked completely, but like it doesn't need to be cooked for a long time. Since it's cooked, I'm going to use this cutting board, wipe it down, grab a plate for our chicken. About like 15 minutes, that's what the recipe called for, and he used chicken breast and it's a lot thicker, so my chicken thigh should cook faster than that, and it smells amazing now, so just saying. At the same time, we're going to keep it down and grab a fork, a spatula, and just follow let me grab it so you can see. So if you want to shred your chicken, you do want to follow the muscle, the line of the chicken, you can see it clearly on this one that your chicken is going to have a very thin line. You want to follow this muscle. That's really going to help you shred your chicken, and it's going to be really, really easy for you to do that. Just take a fork and just start shredding it. See, my chicken is completely cooked. It doesn't have any redness to it, but it's still very tender. That's something that we want. We don't want the chicken to be, you know, bone dry and not good. And if you're like, you know what, this step is ridiculous, I'm just going to eat the chicken as a whole, go ahead. It's all going to a tummy. So do whatever you want at home. But since my title says it's shredded chicken, so I'm gonna shred it. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to find this bowl. Alright, so I shred part of it. And now I'm going to come back to here because I don't want to shred the whole thing. That's going to take too long. Now I'm going to add in my garlic since my everything here are reduced to, and it smells amazing now. I'm going to add in my garlic. Cook a little bit. Heat up my rice. And now I'm going to add in a little chicken stock to my sauce. Turn up the flame. Not going to add in any salt. The reason is this, the chicken stock, I already added salt, so I'm not going to do that again. It's going to have the flavor of the chicken inside out. It's going to be amazing. And if my microwave can just help me out. That would be great. Awesome. Just kind of let it cook, let it combine all the flavors in together. And we're almost done. My video today is slightly longer. And you can make this for, you know, Easter is coming up. You can totally make this for like the party before or something easy. It's really easy to make a big pile of it and then just share with everybody. So something easy. The steps are easy. Just make sure you find someone that you don't like as much to cut your onions or to cut your herbs for you and make them cry. Okay, just turn it off now. Adding our shredded chicken. Like when you go out to eat this as a street food, they tend to not give you as much chicken, just a little bit. The main ingredient is actually the sauce. But because we're eating it ourselves, I'm going to add in a lot of chicken. A whole piece, if I want. Because I made it. And then, again, this is actually my first time trying this dish as well. But it smells really good already. So I can eat it. Alright, today is such a hectic day, you know, from technical difficulty to everything, but at least I still got some food. So this is a very simple shredded chicken over rice. It really is, you don't have to shred the chicken if you don't want to. Again, this is a very popular street food, and usually they will make a lot, but this is some simple variation where you can make at home by yourself, and it smells amazing. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh my god, it's so good. It tastes like the real street food that you can find in Asia. It's really good. Okay. I'm going to try to add the list of ingredients that we need onto the page, and if you have any question about the spring reading program, contact your local branch, and hopefully you can join us for the spring reading program at the library. We do give out awesome prizes this year, and everything is online, or if you want you can do it in person as well. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.